Hi, everybody. It's Mr. Clegg. Now we're going to work on the factor label method worksheet. We're going to work on this together. I'm going to do all the solutions here. You can watch part of this video. You can watch the whole thing if you want. So basically, let's start with number one. We're converting 54 kilometers per hour into meters per second. Those are speeds. So we're going to start off with 54 kilometers in 1 hour. We start off with it that way. And then the next thing, I've sort of done it for you here, but in case you don't understand what's happening here, I'll explain this. So first of all, we're going to convert kilometers into meters. So that's this first step here. And in order to convert kilometers into meters, we're going to take this conversion factor, kilometers to meters, and we're going to turn that into a fraction where the numerator and denominator are equal. So here's one of these is going to be the numerator, one is going to be the denominator. We don't know which way it's going to be, which one needs to go on top. And it turns out that we want the kilometers on the bottom so that it can cancel out with the one over here on the top. If you're not sure why we cancel things, you need to go back and do the math review 1 and 2 and make sure you figure that out. So I won't explain that here because that's in a separate place. Okay, so we want to have the kilometers on the top and bottom so it cancels. If you did this the other way around with the meters on the bottom, then nothing would cancel out here. So the idea is you have to get the kilometers to cancel out. Okay, so then we have 1,000 meters on the top, 1 kilometer on the bottom. Those cancel out. Now we have converted, once we do the multiplication, we will have converted to meters per hour. Okay, so we got the meters part done. Now we need to change the hours into seconds. So we're going to first start with the hours to minutes. And so all the time conversions are down here. So hours to minutes is 60. Some of you might already know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. And so then we put it like this, 60 minutes. Why do we put the hours on the top this time? Because we have hours on the bottom over here, and we want that to cancel out. So we have hours on the bottom and the top, so that cancels out. Okay, now we have meters per minute. We're almost there, but we still need to go to meters per second. I've given you a little help here by putting the minutes on the top so that they cancel, but what do we have to put on the bottom? Seconds. And there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. And now we're going to put like that. Now let's check everything that's not canceled, all the units that are not canceled, I should say. We have meters and we have seconds. So meters per second is the units that are not canceled. And now we're going to multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. So if you, if you weren't using a calculator, you could see that this was, maybe let's just do this as a double check. Okay, we're going to go, oh, my mouse is glitching out here. I'm going to just pause for 1 second. Oh, now it's fine. So we're gonna double check this by going 54. No, I'm gonna switch my mouse out just a second. Okay, we're back. Now the mouse is working better. Okay, so we're gonna multiply across the top here and you get 54,000. And you multiply across the bottom, you get 60 times 60, which is 3,600. So we don't actually have to do this step, but as a double check, just one time, let's do this. So we have 54,000 on the top and 3,600 on the bottom. And that would be meters per second. We're going to actually do that division and make sure we get the right answer. Okay. But first thing we're going to do, I also want to teach you how to do this the normal way where you just multiply. You take this number, 54, type it into your calculator. Divided by 1, you don't have to do divide by 1 because it doesn't do anything. Then you go multiply by 1,000. Skip the divide by 1. Times 1 also doesn't do anything. Then divide by 60. And then times 1 you can skip and then divide by 60 again. Why do we divide by 60? Because it's on the bottom. So I got 15. Now, let's just double check and make sure that this comes out to 15 as well, just as a double check one time. All right, let's do this. 54,000 divided by 3,600 equals 15. All right, great. That's my answer. I like it. So that was number 1. So from now on, we don't have to do this part. That was just as a way to show you to make sure that you're doing math correctly. So when you're doing, whenever you do math, if it's a number that's big and crazy, if there's something that if there's a way you can experiment with a math problem that's easy for you to solve so that you know the answer is right, so that you know your technique is right, you can go ahead and do that. That's a great idea. All right. I'll switch colors for this next problem here. How many seconds are there in a day? So we start with 1 day, and we're going to convert it into seconds. So we're going to switch days into hours. So the first thing we do is we get days on the bottom and top, canceling out 24 hours in 1 day. So now we're up to 24 hours. We want to know how many minutes are in a full day. So we're going to go 1 hour is 60 minutes. Cancel out that. Now we're up to minutes. And now we can put minutes and seconds. Well, we have 60 again, 60 seconds in 1 minute. So now I can cancel out minutes. And we're left with seconds. So now we can pick up the calculator. I'm going to do 1 times 24. I guess I didn't need to type 1 times 24. I could have just typed 24, but too late now. 1 times 24 times 60 equals, and I get 86,400. 86,400 seconds. And that's my answer to that one. Okay, that one wasn't super hard, but now let's see if we can do one that also has things in the top and bottom. I don't remember whether this one does or not, but let's try it. Okay, 129.6 centimeters, and we're going to convert that into feet. We're going to take 129.6 centimeters. We're going to go to inches, and we need to kind of look at our conversion factors here. So here are our length conversions up here, inches and centimeters. So 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. I'm going to go down here. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Okay. And now we have 1 inch. We need to get to feet. So do we put feet down here and inches on the top? No, we don't do that because we got to get the inches to cancel out. So we need to put the inches somewhere where it will cancel out with the one on the top. And the only way I can do that is by putting it on the bottom. All right, so we're going to have inches and feet. So what do we have? 1 foot is 12 inches. Okay, 1 foot is 12 inches. And now, oh, I forgot to cancel out my units here. Centimeters cancel out. You can always do it at the end like this too. This is totally fine. Okay, now we've canceled out all that. We're left with feet. So now we can take this number. We're going to skip times 1 because it doesn't do anything. And then we're going to take this number. We're going to divide it by 2.54 and divide it by 12. Let's see here. 29.6 divided by 2.54 divided by 12. That equals 4.25 19. I'll have to round that up to 2. Oh, there we go. But actually, really, I probably have to round that into, actually, this is exact, so I don't have to round that. So probably, I think I can keep that many significant digits. 4.252 feet. Let's just go like that. Okay, one more problem and we're done. Let's go back to red. Oh, I should change colors here. Let's see. Let's do green, I guess. Okay, convert 13 meters per second to miles per hour. Now this one's going to be more complicated. This is our big finish. All right, so we can choose to do the distance first or the time first. It doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and do the distance first, I guess. So we're going to put meters down here so it can cancel out with that. Let's take a look at our distance units and see what we have. Meters, wait a minute. we're trying to go to miles, right? So probably what we need to do, let's make a little game plan here. Whoa. So probably what we need to do is go from meters to kilometers and then to miles. And that'll be our numerator, right? So we're going to have miles. And then on the bottom, we're going to have seconds in our denominators to minutes to hours. Let me make sure that makes sense. Meters to kilometers, we know. Kilometers to miles, we know. Seconds to minutes, minutes to hours. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's go from meters to kilometers. Now, we already know that there are 1,000, because that's what kilo means. 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, and kilo means 1,000. So 1,000 meters in 1,000 meters. Well, that makes sense. Cancel out the meters. There we go. Now we have to go from kilometers, put that on the bottom, to miles. Miles and kilometers. I don't remember, so let's look at the list. Miles and kilometers. There we go. 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. Go back to the next page. 1.609 kilometers in 1 mile. There we go. Okay, so now we've got miles per second. Probably not going to be very many miles per second unless the thing is going really fast. Okay, but we still have to go from seconds to minutes to hours. So seconds, I got to get that to cancel. So I'm going to put it in the numerator. Seconds to minutes. And now let's do the numbers. 60 seconds in 1 minute. Let's take seconds out of there. Now we're going to take minutes from the denominator, put it in the numerator, so it cancels minutes. And now we're going to put hours. 60 minutes in 1 hour. 60 minutes in 1 hour. And let's check and make sure we have everything canceled out. We got miles and we've got hours. That's it, miles per hour. Okay, time to do the calculation. Here we go with 13 divided by 1,000 divided by 1.609 times 60 and then times 60 again equals, I got the answer 29.086. And I need to round that. And so I'll probably round that to 29 miles per hour. The reason why I need to round it is because I only had 2 digits in the input. So I'll have 2 digits in the output. Don't worry too much if that's difficult to understand. All right, that's pretty much it. Good luck with the rest of this, and I'll see you later.